Overseas action as the grand finalists face each other again at the Oval in London in the Foster's International Cup. Collingwood, on a high after breaking their 32-year premiership drought, have escaped from the adoring hordes at home and now are keen to strut their stuff on a world stage. Essendon, smarting from their defeat last week after winning the minor premiership, will be keen to make amends. And feelings could run high in front of a London crowd which has witnessed Australian football at its toughest. Live on 7 Sport. Hello and welcome to the Oval in London for a rematch of last week's grand finalists, Essendon and Collingwood, in the Foster's Cup here at one of the homes of cricket here in London. Well, it's a beautiful day here, the second match for the weekend overseas for Victorian teams or AFL teams in the competition. Of course, yesterday at Portland, Oregon, Melbourne defeated the West Coast Eagles in a handsome victory by 81 points, 24-16, 160 to the Eagles 11-13, 79. But here today, Ian Robertson, my co-commentator, the Pies victorious, Essendon with something to perhaps regain from last week, but it's been a tough week.
Yes, well, Drew, I think that's the most important thing. The Bombers, of course, were humiliated last weekend, and I think Kevin Sheedy would be really putting it down to them today to try and recover a little bit of lost pride. And I guess that's the crunch. Which team is going to recover after the 6 or 7 days of festivities since the grand final? We know that Collingwood, of course, have had a tremendous 3 or 4 days before they left to come over here. But Essendon, I don't think they're counted out just yet. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. I just noticed a few of the players to watch would be Dacos, of course, Mullane playing with a thumb injury, and Watson and Kickett and company, and Simon Madden, of course, for Essendon.
So plenty of the stars from the grand final turning up again at the Oval in London. We look forward to it in fine, sunny London weather. We'll be back with you in a moment. Alan Richardson starting the game on the bench for Collingwood. Well, we didn't quite think that he'd be ready to play again for the rest of the season because he does have a broken collarbone. And, of course, Mullane has a broken thumb, which came out of plaster, as a matter of fact, just later this week. And going onto the bench for Essendon, Walsh, Harvey, Antrobus, and Michael Thompson's making a return for the Bombers in their colours after being cleared to Richmond and back to Essendon earlier this year. Mick Thompson, a late replacement for Paul van der Haar, who flew over just yesterday, was to have played but found out this morning that he wouldn't be playing. I believe he still has a broken rib, actually, from the final series. So both teams allowed to use 22 players, and it looks as though Collingwood, Robbo, might only have 21.
Yes, the other player, I don't know whether you mentioned, was Craig Kelly, who is on the interchange bench. I think Collingwood, if they were fit, 3 of those players, Mullane, Krasiska and Kelly, would all be in the opening 18.
Umpires in charge in London, Peter Carey and Chris Mitchell. And Chris Mitchell about to get the game underway. You wouldn't believe how warm it is in London. The temperature in the 20s, and it's been like that ever since we arrived on Thursday morning. Not a drop of rain. It's just been a very long, hot summer in London. And here we are deep into autumn and still hot. So Chris Mitchell gets the game underway. Monkhorst to face Madden in the ruck. Monkhorst first hands to the ball. Buick a little toe poke on it, but can't get it clear. And now Collingwood underway. Wright knocked off it by Fox. Dacos applies a good tackle. It spills to Kickett. His hand pass over the top, close to the boundary line. And good body work over there by Tim Watson, and the ball goes out of play. Peter Dacos acting captain today for Collingwood. Tony Shaw didn't make the trip. Also out from the grand final lineup for Collingwood, McQuan, Manson and Russell.
I think Watson hurt himself then too, Drew, as he forced the ball over the boundary line. From the boundary throw in, Derek Kickett can't break clear, and eventually umpire Carey calls for a bounce. It's on centre wing, maybe just slightly favouring Collingwood. Gavin Brown lining up at centre half forward for Collingwood, and the ball comes clear now. Opportunity for O'Brien to kick it into full forward. Werner, who I think should have played last week for the Bombers, goes for goal. A lovely long kick by Michael Werner, but it's just offline to the left. But the first score goes to the Bombers, and that is a behind. So it'll be interesting to see. I really feel that Essendon are going to be fired up. Kevin Sheedy, very competitive. Collingwood, a little bit of a doubt about whether their attitude is going to be spot on. The good ball is at centre-half back. Kick off the ground by Wright, goes back towards Bailey for Essendon. Bailey's kick in towards centre-half forward, and Monkhurst takes the mark. And a 50-metre penalty? Well, I don't quite know. The player certainly had to do something about the contest, but umpire Mitchell decides on a 50-metre penalty in favour of Damien Monkhurst. That brings him up to be between centre and centre-half forward. He's still about 60 metres from goal, and he kicks from further than that. Wobbly kick in towards full forward, good gather by Christian. He fakes the hand pass, goes back to Tranter. Tranter's kick is short. Harisalakis is caught by Considine, perhaps could have been penalised. Tuttenham in there, desperation by Buick. Kick off the ground by Anthony Danaher, goes back towards the centre, where Burns collects it beautifully. Gives it to Hamilton. Hamilton's kick towards centre-half forward. Nearly the Essendon mark taken. O'Brien gets the ball to Cransberg. Cransberg's right foot snap. Looks pretty good from here. And Essendon have scored the first goal of the match. Great kick there by Cransberg. And Essendon's teamwork from half-back was excellent. Eventually finishing off. There's a bit of a push and shove between Werner and Shane Morwood. And I guess, well, the pride's at stake. Both teams desperately need to win this match because they've all got to come back to Australia and face the music eventually.
So the Bombers leading 1-1, Collingwood yet to score. Quite a lot of changes. 4 out in Collingwood's grand final team, and a total of 9 out of Essendon's grand final team. Bounce in the middle by umpire Carey. Madden faces Monkhorst. Monkhorst wins it. Comes to Francis, the South Australian who's been a star in his first season. Up to full forward. O'Donnell goes in for the spoil. Comes to Bailey. Bailey's kick up towards centre wing. Burns the only chance. Pushed out of it by Turner. No whistle. And the ball goes out of bounds near centre wing. We'll have a boundary throw in. Monkhorst in front. And Madden, 349 games up against him. Down goes Burns, pushed in the back. And a free kick to the youngster Adrian Burns, 19 years of age. Well, Tranter was over the mark. Burns kicks across the ground. O'Donnell's drifted up from defence. No, it's Chris Danaher. After dropping the mark, he recovered pretty well. Pumps it down towards the forward pocket. Gafer is there. And the ball goes out of bounds. With him, Neil Danaher, and we'll have a throw in. Well, these weather conditions, Robbo, really going to test, because is there some bite in this London sun?
Yes, terrific conditions here in London, and certainly the players would appreciate it. The kick by Flood up towards full forward. The mark taken by Buick, runs into an open goal and kicks it. So Essendon get there. Course, Francis collects the footy nicely onto the left foot. Forced to kick quickly across his body. Not quite effective, but Kerrison gathers it nicely. He handballs further afield, and Starcevic kicks it in towards full forward. Christian, what a magnificent mark! Michael Christian, to the applause of the crowd, takes a spectacular mark at full forward. Having another look at it, and he was out of position, but certainly touched it the first time and then dragged it down over Anthony Danaher. So Christian, oh, the kick is a little sloppy. It goes across, no, it's through. Well, watching the goal umpire, I thought he moved far enough across that he may have missed, but Christian gets Collingwood's first goal. And Essendon lead 2-1 to Collingwood, 1 goal straight.
And interesting there, you can see there are Collingwood fans the world over. They're here in London, and people have turned up to this game in Carlton jumpers and Footscray jumpers. It's not a big crowd, it may be 8,000 to 10,000, but plenty of Australian football fans in London. Bounce back in the middle by umpire Chris Mitchell. Near the ruckman really that time. Dacos out of the middle, pumps it straight up the centre corridor. Harisalakis is there, keeps it out in front. Athos, 20 metres from goal, caught in a great tackle by O'Donnell. O'Donnell is kick out towards half-back flank. Hamilton breaks one tackle, can't break the second. Gets it off to Watson, who appeared to damage his arm in the first minute. Going all right now. Oh, excellent mark. Taken back there in defence. Tarpey. Andrew Tarpey.
It was a good mark, Drew, yep.
Beauty. Up towards half forward. Oh, what a climb by Cransberg. Well, the London fans will love this. Cransberg and Tarpey and Christian have taken excellent marks. Peter Cransberg kicked that like a bag of wheat. Drops in a bit short. Considine takes the mark, plays on quickly. He's kicked to half forward. He's chopped off there by Tranter. Centre of the ground, Dacos. Robbed of it by O'Brien. Sweeps out a beautiful hand pass and a chance for the Bombers to move this up the ground. Danaher. Anthony Danaher to centre half forward. Morwood spoils. Comes down to the front to Francis. He's caught in a good tackle. Back to Tarpey. Tarpey, a long hand pass on the bounce out to Wright.
Wright has got plenty of space. Time to get out of the right foot. Long kick towards half forward and another Christian mark. It's been paid. And a big strong man is Michael Christian, putting himself in front. Very difficult to get around. And took the ball at the second grab. The short kick into the pocket. Starcevic marks 55 metres from goal. Craig Starcevic, always difficult opponent. Kicks it long, drop punt kick to the point of the square. Nearly a mark there to Harisalakis, but not paid. And umpire Chris Mitchell will call for a bounce. So the standard not too bad, Drew, in the opening minutes. The players, after 6 or 7 days of festivities, standing up pretty well. I guess it's still only early, but they're doing it nicely. Cransberg over the top, punches it through and gives away a behind to Collingwood. So that's their first behind of the match. They're 1-1-7. They trail Essendon, who are 2-1-13. Anthony Danaher there to bring the ball back into play. And suggestion, no, he's going in short. No, O'Brien takes the mark in the back pocket.
And Craig O'Brien up short of centre wing. And Tuddenham drops away from Grenvold to take the mark. Paul Tuddenham inside centre half forward. And Christian takes his third mark. Michael Christian, how well's he going? And he'll be kicking for goal from inside 50 metres. Down towards the pavilion end here at the Oval. And the end which Collingwood is defending is the Vauxhall end. Kicked by Christian. He's got the distance all right, and is a goal.
Nearly an opportunity there for Tranter. Punched away nicely by Barwick. O'Donnell from half back gathers and kicks it towards centre half forward for Essendon. Awkward bounce. Big punch from behind by Tarpey. Still under pressure, but he gets his kick away. In the centre, Alexander tries to run away from O'Brien. He's caught with the football and should be penalised. Advantage was nearly paid there, I would have thought. Considine about to run away, but O'Brien now has the ball defensive side of the centre. The kick out wide, looking for Simon Madden, and Madden will mark. A little bit too mobile there for Monkhorst. Madden's kick in towards centre half forward, no mark taken. Scramble for possession at centre half back. Gayfer, under pressure, kick it. Chance now for Flood. Flood's kick for goal is there. Essendon get their third. The Bombers are doing it pretty well in the opening quarter. They're 3-1-19. Collingwood are 2-1-13. And I must reiterate, the standard's pretty good because the boys have been under a bit of pressure, travelling, and also a few late nights, Drew. I don't know whether we're giving anyone up, but they certainly have had a decent time here in London, and they're doing it pretty well, both Essendon and Collingwood. 3 goals, 1 to Essendon, 2 goals, 1 to Collingwood.
I'm enjoying this. This is a top exhibition of football. Madden got a hand to it, couldn't get it out. Alexander for Collingwood, high up in the air, awkward one for Wright, but he takes the mark. Third in the Brownlow medal, Graham Wright, ex-Tasmanian. Thumps a long right footer. A lot of height, not great distance. Christian again. 4 marks. And a bit of a dust-up goes on after the mark. Christian will need to be careful. It's his ball. And he'll be kicking for goal from right in front for a hat-trick in the opening 10 minutes.
Now, is this a brainwave by Collingwood's coach for the day, Lee Adamson? Because this man started at full-back last week on Paul Salmon. This week he's up the other end of the ground at full forward, could kick 3 in the first term.
Great performance by Christian. This kick is pretty close and goes through for his third.
First, Madden gets it towards centre half forward, punched away by Tarpey, punched away by Wright. Here's Brown's first chance, couldn't quite gather the football. goes wide to Watson, tackled by Tarpey, gets the hand pass away wide, out towards centre wing. Opportunity for Hamilton. He does it reasonably well. The kick is slightly ineffective. Short, Madden nearly caught, gets the kick away. Burns gets the hand pass to O'Brien going goalwards, and O'Brien's put it through. It's all clear. What a great goal there by Craig O'Brien for Essendon. Under a little bit of pressure at half forward, but Simon Madden striving hard for his side, eventually pushed the ball clear, and O'Brien just inside the 50-metre line, kicked truly for Essendon's 4th goal. Bombers are 4-1, Collingwood are 3-1, Essendon by 6 points.
Well, this is an entertaining start. Interesting to see Dacos playing up on the ball, being picked up by Buick. This one comes to Watson. Off hands to Tranter. Tranter's kick across the ground. Right leads the race. Kransberg closes the gap. Here's Gavin Brown playing up the ground. Hooks it round his shoulder. Starcevic marks at half-forward flank. 60 metres from goal. Too far out to score. Christian in the goal square. Not a bad kick by Starcevic. Christian marked number 5. Very tight angle. He was thinking of kicking backwards to open the goalposts, but he might have to go for his 4th goal. Good effort. Sensational stuff by Michael Christian.
Back, Watson gets the ball away from the centre, kicks it towards half forward. A good mark taken at centre half back for Collingwood by Tarpey. He gets the hand pass away to Kerrison. Kerrison's short pass, looking out there for Francis, who's got 10 metres on his opponent. The kick up towards the centre wing position, beautifully gathered by Wright. Wright's kick up towards full forward. Risalakis and O'Donnell go for it, and it goes over for a boundary throw-in. So Christian with 4 goals in the first quarter. Essendon's are all singles. Buick, O'Brien, Kransberg and Flood. And we've got a boundary throw-in about 45 metres from the Collingwood goal. Starcevic trying to do the ruck work. In doing so, I thought he interfered with Fox. And umpire Carey sees it that Fox was shepherding Starcevic away from the ruck contest, so Starcevic will take the free kick. And he's well within scoring distance, Craig Starcevic, about 45 metres out. Chance for Collingwood's 5th goal, and it looks pretty good. Goal umpire standing right underneath that goal post, and he gives the signal that it's all clear for Collingwood's 5th, and the Magpies hit the front. So with 2 big fellas like Starcevic and Christian on the forward line, they've got Gavin Brown at centre half forward, very agile. Starcevic half forward flank with Fox minding him. And back in the goal square, Christian, as I've already said, a big tall man, being minded now by Neil Danaher. Collingwood's forward line looks quite potent.
Bit of a cloud cover coming over the oval at the moment. And that might help the players. It was mighty hot just before the start of the game. I want to say hot. If it's 22 degrees, it can be very hot in London. Watson's kick up towards half forward. Turner knocked off it by Anthony Danaher. Comes to Burns, whose kick is offline and is behind. Well, the West Australians have done pretty well. Michael Christian's kicked 4, Starcevic 1, all of Collingwood's goals. And for Essendon, Buick and Kransberg have kicked goals. So they haven't given the other states much of a look in. Kick in by Shane Kerrison. Well, he's kicked that about 65 metres. Starcevic there. Puts it back to Gaffer. Awkward one. And Wright sees the ball over the boundary line. We'll have a throw-in. Pretty deserted in that stand in the background, which is right behind the wicket for cricket, but is about a half-back flank for the footy. Harvey fumbles. Watson paddles out. Buick losing ground. Wright taking a while to pick up. Now he's got it. His left footer up short of half forward, and Brad Fox is there to take the mark for the Bombers.
Fox, short pass, wide towards centre wing. Watson marks, lazily handballs towards Chris Danaher. pulled off the football, a Collingwood player right, chipping in as O'Donnell. Good vision, wide to Buick. Buick short passes, it nearly landed on the chest there of the young player Burns. Tries to get it to Anthony Danaher. Good boxing on by Burns. Not quite rewarded. Anthony Danaher shoots for goal, but a free kick has been picked out of it. No, it may be out of bounds on the full, and it certainly will be a free kick. There's the Collingwood bench. Mullane, Kelly, Richardson and Chris Siska haven't made a change yet, whereas Essendon have brought Harvey on, and the kick goes long by Turner. And a great mark taken by Essendon's captain, Tim Watson. He certainly looked determined when he went for that. The short pass, is it going to be paid? No, he's got to go back and kick over the man on the mark. So Tim Watson will do it all once again. Too far out to score, maybe, about 60 metres from goal. And indicating that, the forward line's quite crowded. Now there's a player in short. It was Considine, but the chipping in and taking the mark was Banks for Collingwood. So Dennis Banks, a veteran of the Collingwood side. Don't know whether he'd appreciate me calling him that, but certainly one of the older players. The kick goes wide towards centre wing, and the mark is paid to Hamilton.
Hamilton, and there is a funny sounding siren to signal quarter time here at the Oval, and what a first quarter it was. Collingwood 5 goals won, 31, leading Essendon 4-2, 26. Essendon 4 goals 2, and for Collingwood, Michael Christian 4 goals and a great start. Starcevic 1 for Essendon, singles to Buick, O'Brien, Kransberg and Flood. A 5-point lead to Collingwood at quarter time. Well, next weekend the NBL action really hots up when the Perth Wildcats and the Brisbane Bullets battle it in the NBL Grand Final. 2 weeks of heart-stopping basketball action only on 7 Sport. And on Sunday, November the 25th, it's the mind-numbing action of NASCAR, live from Calder Park Thunderdome. The world's finest drivers in their Pontiacs, Chevrolets, Ford Thunderbirds and Buicks against the tough Australians and their machines. Great viewing at 280 kilometres per hour. NASCAR coming soon to 7 Sport. Now, would you believe our roving reporter at ground level all the way over in London is Scotty Palmer. Afternoon, Scotty.
Good afternoon, Drew, and good afternoon, Robbo, and welcome everyone back home.
What have you got for us? Did you hear the coaches?
I heard the coaches, yes. Kevin Sheedy was not terribly upset, but he wanted the players to do more. He told Simon Benton to put his body in. He said there's going to be goal for goal most of the day, and every man has to sort of do his job. Lee Adamson at Collingwood said, look, we've got a vocal point down there in the centre half forward position. Michael Christian, if you don't see a lead, shoot for Michael. He'll do the job. I'm looking for 8 goals from Michael Christian today.
Good on you, Scotland.
That's... Thanks, Drew.
Normally you see him in the studio of the Sunday Press and the Sunday Sun, but there he is at the Oval.
And he's done a good job to get round to both sides too, Drew.
Yes, sir.
We usually have 2 guys down there on the boundary line, of course. So the second quarter about to start here in the Foster's Cup here at the Oval. And Collingwood have an advantage of 5 points at the quarter-time break. Buick tries to get the ball clear. Harvey was the player he was looking for. Dacos chipped in with determination to rip it off Mark Harvey, and umpire Mitchell will call for a bounce. I wouldn't say there's a wind advantage. Certainly not looking at the kicks in that first term. Madden tries to get the ball clear. Kransberg can't break away, and he's being penalised there. Gee, I thought that was a bit tough for throwing the ball. Tranter, Kerrison. A little late was Flood. And Kerrison's kick is good. It finds Tuddenham wide between wing and half forward. Tuddenham now doesn't quite go back far enough and kicks the ball high towards centre half forward. No mark taken. A chance there. Striving hard was Fox. Dashing through Considine. Can't get clear. Dacos. Clever. Hand pass. Tuddenham's wider still. Tranter. Collingwood looking for big things from this youngster. The kick is short. Nearly the mark to Starcevic. Christian pushed off it. Watson working overtime. Chris Danaher fumbles, and that's probably a legacy of the last 6 or 7 days. Bailey, wide goes to O'Donnell. O'Donnell further to Buick, and Essendon out of trouble. Buick to Watson, too close. Somehow they get out of trouble, and that's the skill of Australian football. Beautiful play. Buick's kick, chopped off by Turner. Free kick, and it's going to Essendon. So in that marking contest, Shane Morwood has been penalised for holding on to Michael Werner.
Behind the play, Chris Danaher not too good after he fumbled a hand pass up at the other end of the ground, and I think he might come off.
Michael Werner, the pass in short,
and it's okay. The mark is taken by Anthony Danaher. Anthony Danaher, who of course in the first quarter had all that trouble with Michael Christian and Drew. I would suggest that Essendon will certainly make a change, because your spotting of Chris Danaher, he looks in a bad way, and the trainer indicating that a change will be made. There's 4 interchange players for each side. Collingwood, 2 of theirs would only be about 60% fit. Anthony Danaher from 35 metres goes for goal, and he may con the umpire. No, he won't. It's through for a behind. So Essendon 4-3-27, Collingwood 5-1-31. Antrobus comes on, and Chris Danaher, limping badly, has hurt his left leg.
It was just the fumble of the hand pass that allowed the tacklers to get to him, and they hurt him in the tackle. Shane Kerrison going for a run, nobody standing the mark. Kerrison up towards the centre of the ground. A big pack flies. Fox gets the hand pass out. Whew. Crunch, in goes Harvey. Maurice Alakis gets the ball to Banks. Almost an underground pass to Dacos. Clever Peter Dacos. Helped towards the boundary line by Harvey, and the ball goes out of play.
Good harassing by Harvey there without giving a free kick away.
Straight up to the new dressing room for Chris Danaher, and that's bad news that he might suffer a serious injury in an end-of-season game. This one comes to Harvey, centre of the ground. Madden knocks away. There's time to steady, puts it out here. There's a chance for the Bombers. Antrobus has got a bit of space. Tony Antrobus on the run, centering left footer. Neil Danaher's there, takes the mark 55 metres out from goal. They've kicked long balls in the first quarter, Collingwood. Starcevic kicked a magnificent goal, so maybe Neil Danaher's not too far out to score. Goes with a torpedo, it's a magnificent kick!
Collingwood are 5-1, the bounce back in the centre. They may get clear, Essendon. Watson's kick. Turner's a chance, bounces a little awkward, still a little awkward the second one, but he gathers nicely and then backs himself and runs away from half back, kicks towards centre half forward, no mark. Bailey pushes out nicely, then gets onto the left foot, kicks it clear, flattened as he kicks the ball, and a free kick will be taken downfield by Kransberg, wide on the wing. Play on, is it going to be allowed? No, maybe he might have to go back. And Kransberg will still be able to short pass, and Bailey takes the mark on centre wing. He plays on quickly, kicks it towards centre half forward. Madden takes the mark one-handed at centre half forward. And certainly Damien Monkhurst a little out of sorts. The kick into the pocket, Neil Danaher marks in the forward pocket about 35 metres from goal. Short passes on, Antrobus too short, slips the tackle, still got the football, and eventually a little lucky, I think. Dust up, crowd excited. Here we go, 3 or 4 into it. And the crowd cheering madly. This is what they want to see, a bit of action. Australian rules football brings the people to their feet. And I would have thought it was an Essendon free kick, but was Antrobus penalised for holding the ball in the finish?
I thought originally the decision was for a high tackle by Francis. It was going to be Essendon's free. And Temper's just behind play, getting a little bit frayed at the moment. Collingwood have it up near the centre of the ground. Dacos wide to right. Right, the hand pass back to Dacos. Some gaps opening up. Peter Dacos playing on the ball for the Pies. Beautiful pass, and diving mark by by Gavin Brown. Too far out to score. He puts it wide for Krasiska, who's just come on. A diving mark. Well, they'd have been proud of any of those dives over the years here at this Surrey cricket ground. Kevin Sheedy wide for sound. And Krasiska is just on the ground replacing Haris Alakis. He'll go for this one from about 45 metres out on the boundary line. Not a bad effort. Pretty close. Just offline for a point. His first score for the game. And just a point in it now. 5-3 to 5-2. Essendon in front. The kick in, marked by Bailey. He's held up by Alexander. Dean Bailey kicks wide for Madden, leading at centre wing. And he beats Monkhorst to it.
Gee, they were 2 good kicks then.
Madden's kick. Up to Flood. Can't quite mark. Spoiled by Tarpey, comes to Dacos. Dacos to the running Banks. Didn't quite see Anthony Danaher there. Banks goes long to centre half forward. A blind kick. Good punch down by Harvey. O'Donnell, great gather. But it spills out here. Gavin Brown gets it back. Tranter, good pass. On the 50 is Tuddenham. Gets around Harvey, gains a few metres, and Tuddenham kicks the goal.
First, Dacos tries to shrug the tackle. He still has the football underneath, and he's going to be rewarded. And I love to see that. The player trying to make the play, eventually getting the free kick, and it's Peter Dacos. He kicks it wide. Tranter, an exciting youngster for Collingwood, kicks it into the forward pocket. Christian getting back there, couldn't hang on to that one, and the ball goes over for a boundary throw-in. It's in the right forward pocket for Collingwood. The game's starting in brilliant sunshine here at the Oval. It's clouded over a little, but still we are blessed with a beautiful day for Australian rules football. Boundary throw-in about 30 metres around from the Collingwood goal. Opportunity now for Grenvold. Oh, he was going to give it to Andrews, who was under enormous pressure. Barwick's first kick is across the face of goal. Christian nearly marks. Strength, he's held off the football. When does he get a free kick? Never, says the umpire. And eventually he's being penalised for holding the football. I don't know the rules. Free kick to be taken back there by Considine.
The umpire's had a big week too.
I'm sure that their eyes are a little phased, but it's been a big few days. Back up towards half-back. The punch out. Right. Left foot kick. Good spotting. The pass is good. The marker's taken by Tuddenham on the 50-metre line. Now, this will be interesting because Neil Danaher kicked the goal for Essendon up the other end of the ground from outside 50 with a magnificent torpedo punt kick. Paul Tuddenham is right on the 50-metre line. Scoreline 6-2 Collingwood, 5-3 Essendon. And Tuddenham certainly puts it into the square. It's helped over by the big men back there, and are behind a Collingwood. That's their third. So they lead by one straight kick, the Magpies, 6-3 to 5-3.
Australian girls there in the crowd enjoying themselves, and I think the crowd has built up a bit since the start. They might have been hiding in some Foster's pavilions for the opening bounce.
There's a good effort by Grenvold out there, Drew, to mark that kick in.
It's a beauty. Kick by David Grenvold to the centre. Madden glides through the air with the greatest of ease and takes the mark.
Free kick to... no, it's not. Sorry.
Madden out wide to Watson, who gathered plenty of possessions in the first quarter. Tim Watson, after appearing to be injured in the opening minute. Short kick round the corner. Burns couldn't mark. Comes to Banks. Dacos gets rid of Burns. Now it flicks to Turner. A bouncing ball. Harvey beats Krasiska to it. Bit scrappy near the middle. No whistle on that play. Harvey comes out with it. Harvey's kick up to centre half forward. Neil Danaher the only chance. One hand only. He's got the ball in front of him. Well played by Neil Danaher. 29 years of age. A tragedy that he missed 4 years of football.
Fantastic stuff there by Burns. I'll tell you what, I reckon this young kid's got a future, Drew. Still lacking a little confidence, having watched him in the last couple of days over here, but golly, he's shown some desperation in the first quarter and a half of this game.
Grenvold has gone off, replaced by Michael Thompson in the Essendon lineup. And Adrian Burns, who they call George Burns, from outside 50. Well, he's kicked it, well, it's further from goal than when he started, nearly. Madden marks. That was a great pass, top pass. Madden right in front.
Well, Damien Monkhurst just cannot get into the play. He's doing well in the ruck contests at the centre bounce, but around the ground, Simon Madden is slaughtering him.
This one to level the scores. Madden from 49 metres has done it.
Kicked off the ground by Kerrison up towards half forward. The bounce favours Krasiska. He just gets his foot to the ball and it bounces through for a goal. And a magnificent single-handed effort there by Gavin Krasiska. Under a fierce tackle, the pressure just got his foot to the ball and kicked Collingwood's 7th goal. Down on the boundary line, Scott Palmer.
Yes, Chris Danaher has just been taken out of the game. He won't be appearing again. He's injured his knee. The doctor said no way, no, he'll play again today.
Well, that's bad luck for Chris Danaher. And I guess that, well, the pressure's here. The players are playing for a certain amount of pride. And unfortunately, the bad fumble at centre half back, the tackle, and he goes off with a knee injury.
Back in the middle, and Collingwood lead by that goal by Gavin Krasiska. There's Brown. Standing start kick. That 45 metres high. Starcevic, good mark. Gee, that was a good mark. Under pressure, he has a look around and he sees he's about 35 metres from goal. Considine just failed to punch the ball away. So Craig Starcevic attempting to give the Pies a 2-goal lead deep into the second quarter here at the Oval in London. Hope you're enjoying it on 7 Sport in Australia and Channel 4 in Britain. Starcevic goes for the goal. And just across the face. No, he's kicked it.
Very quickly, O'Brien and Francis saying hello to each other, but umpire Carey calls for a bounce. Tony Francis, one of the very important players for Collingwood last Saturday in their premiership win. Monkhorst gets the ball over the top to right to the running Kerrison. Kerrison after one bounce. The left foot kick in towards half forward. Tranter really didn't go for the football. Alexander feeds it to Starcevic. Starcevic, left foot snap. What's it done? It's bounced through. Miraculous goal by Craig Starcevic. He gets his 3rd goal. And Collingwood go marching on. Collingwood get their 9th goal. Starcevic has kicked 3. Christian has kicked 4. And for Essendon, they're all singles.
The West Australians having a picnic, aren't they? 7 of the 9 goals for Collingwood from the West Australian duo who joined in the same year.
Well, the quality of the game is fantastic, Drew.
Now this bounce favours Monkhorst. He takes clean possession. His kick's a bit blind. Out wide to half-forward flank. Krasiska bumped out of it by Harvey. Mick Thompson gathers for the Bombers. Nice to see him back in Essendon colours. Wright punches from behind O'Donnell, but O'Donnell goes in after it. It comes to O'Brien from centre half back over the centre circle. Anthony Danaher, one hand, not enough. But here he comes, steaming through 50 and hooks the kick away to the left for a behind. His second behind, so I don't know whether he's totally enjoying his move to the forward line. He's had a couple of shots for goal but hasn't managed a major as yet.
And the Collingwood boys on the bench not looking all that interested in taking a place on the field. And little wonder. Shane Morwood kicks it in. Out wide, the marker's taken out there by Tarpey, who is a tall boy, played most of his football this year in the reserves. The kick just off the side of his boot slightly. Starcevic summed it up pretty well. A flip over the top to Krasiska. Krasiska's got a player on his own at half forward. It's Alexander. He can't quite keep the ball in the field of play, so the umpire will call for a bounce. Throw in, rather. It's about 55 to 60 metres around from the Collingwood goal. They've kicked 9-3. Essendon have kicked 6-4. Christian 4 goals and Starcevic 3. Essendon trying to get clear back there. Anthony Danaher held with the football. He's got a chance again. Just gets his left foot to the ball. Kransberg wide. Running onto it is Tranter. Good gather. Youngster showing composure. In towards half forward, Banks. Fierce handball, Francis. Now Gaffer. Left foot kick by Gaffer towards centre half forward. Diving mark by Starcevic. In the covers here at the Oval. Otherwise known as centre half forward in Australian rules. Starcevic, short pass. It's all right. Christian didn't think it was going to get there. Surprised by the result. Still fighting hard, Michael Christian. And eventually the tackle is rewarded. And unfortunately for O'Donnell, the free kick will go to Christian just outside 50 metres.
Mullane has just replaced Graham Wright, so good to see Darren Mullane on the field.
Christian from 50 metres for goal number 5. Lovely long kick to the goal line. Essendon punch it through for a rush behind. So Christian, his first blemish is that behind. He's kicked 4-1. Starcevic has kicked 3 straight. Essendon, of course, all single goal scorers.
9-4 to 6-4, Collingwood leading. And the mark taken by Considine. Up to half forward, Fox is there, can't get in the marking contest. Comes to Hamilton, he loses ground to Fox. He will raise the elbow to get through Francis. Out to Neil Danaher. Sweeping hand pass to O'Brien. 55 metres out, Craig O'Brien. Not a bad effort. What's there, I think? Oh, touch right on the line. Photo finish.
Well, you must give credit to the goal umpire, I guess, Drew. He's right on the spot and got into a great position to make that judgment that the players had punched it over. And it really was a good kick by O'Brien. Kick in by Kerrison towards centre-half back. Essendon have got the numbers. Good fortune there at the back. Brown, sweeping hand pass, looking for Dacos. The skill of those two players, magnificent. And look at the kick by Peter Dacos, right on the chest of Alexander. He's looking for the short pass, and that's effective. And the marker's taken at centre-half forward by young Tranter. This is Brendan Tranter, a player that I'm sure Collingwood will be looking to just make that step up next year and put some pressure on Tony Francis and Scott Russell for a senior berth. Tranter, rather lazily, but it looks pretty good. It's a goal to Collingwood. So Tranter's kicked his first goal. Collingwood have got their 10th. And in this second term, the Magpies have consolidated. Essendon have kicked 2 goals, but on the other side of the ledger, the Magpies have kicked 5 to open up a handy advantage. They're 10-4 and Essendon 6-5, and that's the half-time score. Half-time here at the Oval in the Foster's Cup. Collingwood 10-4-64, Essendon are 6-5-41.
A 23-point lead at half-time to the Premiers Collingwood. Doing it pretty well. They made less changes from their grand final side than the Bombers did. And we thought maybe some of these younger Bombers given a go today might narrow the gap. Well, it's certainly not all over yet, but it's a 23-point lead to the Pies at half-time at the Oval, 10-4-64 to 6-5-41. Holds a lead of 23 points over the Bombers. At half-time, 10 goals 4 to 6-5. For Collingwood, Christians kicked 4 goals, Starcevic 3, singles to Tuddenham, Krasiska and Tranter, and the Bombers have all come from singles. Buick, O'Brien, Kransberg, Madden, Flood, Danaher, and they're their goal kickers for Essendon. But a very entertaining game here in warm conditions at the Oval in London. Now, Scotty Palmer is our man on the boundary line. Scott, I believe the weather here has been so good that the Surrey Cricket Club curator decided to take holidays.
Yes, Harry Bryan, who's the groundsman here, who's prepared the wicket for Wacko Yunus to bowl all the bouncers out here during the summer season, has taken a holiday. He's gone to hospital to have his cartilage done, Drew.
Well, the ground's in pretty good condition, even without him being here. Now, we're watching a couple of players here today. I know Paul Vanderhaar's here, but not playing. I think we've certainly seen him play his last, but maybe Tony Antrobus is playing his last for the Bombers.
Well, we've spoken to Tony Antrobus. He's going to have serious talks with Kevin Sheedy after this game to just find out whether he's wanted again at Windy Hill. Now, he's prepared to play. His wife loves Melbourne, but if he's not wanted, he will go back and try and join the composite side. He knows of a few other Rovers like Tony McGuinness and Mark Nailey who want to go back and play for Adelaide. And a couple of people here have heard that Stephen Stretch from Melbourne might want to join the composite side. So obviously they're looking to sort of put a very, very good field a very good side next year, Drew.
And yet apparently Kim Russell, who is Scott Russell's brother, is signed by the Pies.
They're very jubilant here in the Pies camp. They had word today that Kim Russell, the brother of Scott, a ruck rover type, is going to play for Collingwood next year. What else can they do but keep on picking those South Australians?
That's right. Any Essendon signings?
Well, of course, Essendon, they've got David. They thought they had David Pittman signed up, but he's rejected their offer and he's going to play for South Australia as well. They had Paul Vanderhaar arrive today. He's not on the field today because he left his gear back home in Ringwood, Drew.
Now, very quickly, what about the Collingwood tattoos? We know that they all tattooed their various parts of their body after the grand final.
Well, the commissioners are very upset about those tattoos. They're wondering whether they breached the VFL logo commitments. They're going to have a look at this and say if they've breached them, they might have to pay a fine or get them removed because you can't do that in the VFL.
Good heavens, fancy removing some of those tattoos. Got any tips from Westminster, Scotty?
Well, look, I've been hovering around Westminster Cathedral and the Houses of Parliament and everything here, and the big word is that John Cain might become Governor of Victoria. Now, I can't sort of verify this because I haven't reached the House of Lords yet, but the word is over here that he could be the new Governor of Victoria. So I'm only giving a sort of a football commentary. They're giving a keep punching here, but listen, you never know what might happen here in London.
You never know. Good on you, Scotland.
Good on you, mate.
Keep punching. We'll be back with you at the Oval after a short break. Afternoon and welcome back to the Oval in London. Well, Robbo, a very entertaining first half of football, I reckon,
Well,
considering
it really was. We made a few comments during the first quarter that the standard was excellent, considering what's happened. They played last Saturday. They've had a big few days, including the trip over here, and they're to be congratulated. The second quarter was, I thought, just as good. Some good play from Starcevic and Christian, who was a big thorn in Essendon's defence up at full forward, kicking 4 goals in the first quarter. And Essendon struggling at the other end of the ground. They're relying on Madden and Watson, the old-timers, the old stages. I thought Bailey played reasonably well when he came onto the ground. But Collingwood, they've still got that engine room stuff, haven't they, with Dacos and Brown. 2 youngsters, I thought Tranter and Alexander did very well for Collingwood. But the Magpies look fairly composed. I guess that when the crunch comes, the skill really stands out, doesn't it?
And I know Lee Matthews used a short forward line for Collingwood to win the flag, but it's interesting that Peter Dacos is up in the centre and Gavin Brown out at half forward. So Lee Adamson's gone for a taller forward line, which is looking $1 million.
Well, he can't go wrong, really, can he? I mean, the 2 big boys, Craig Starcevic and Michael Christian, have kicked 7 of their 10 goals. And Christian looked as though he was headed for an 8-goal game, but of course Essendon had to do a switch. They moved Anthony Danaher down the other end of the ground and put Neil Danaher back there. But I think they were getting the ball, Collingwood were getting the ball to Michael Christian a little too easily. And I think Sheedy probably would have got the message out there, put a little bit more pressure on players down the ground, because that's what it's all about.
And a shame for for Chris Danaher. He came away for what is an exhibition game. And a knee injury, well, who knows? These days, a knee injury could be 12 months if it's that serious.
Yeah, it's terrible bad luck for Chris Danaher, just fighting his way into the side towards the latter part of the season, playing well against St Kilda in the last game, when the 4 Danahers created history by playing in the senior side. Not getting there in the early finals, but being there on grand final day, and now coming away and being hurt. So let's hope it's not too serious.
Some of the stats, well, the hit-outs, Collingwood leading Essendon 13-8. So Monkhorst is doing pretty well there, but around the ground, Simon Madden. And the centre breaks, Collingwood 11-6. Well, they're getting out of the middle pretty well, the Pies.
It's critical, Drew, in football to break away from the centre. And I guess that the ruckmans certainly give them the first chance if they can hit the ball clear of the packs. But certainly if they hit the ball straight down, then the crunch is on those little fellas to show lots of strength and force the ball out somehow towards their own team's goal. But Monkhorst, I was a little critical of him in the first quarter, but he's standing up pretty straight. And those big tall fellas, they don't get shorter, do they, as the day wears on?
That's right, that's right. OK, thanks, Robbo. We'll be back with you at the second half. It's a carnival atmosphere at the Oval. Hope you're enjoying it. At the Oval, and in the years gone by, you might have seen the cricketers going into the century-old pavilion, but now alongside that is this new Foster's grandstand with a lot of corporate areas up the top there. I have to say, not too much seating for the public there. You spend a lot of money on a grandstand, you can't put too many people in there, but well, that's the way sport's going. Lots of corporate interest, and the players coming out of opposite dressing rooms and making their way back onto the ground. And I reckon they've all given a terrific account of themselves here today. And this crowd, which I was pretty mortified by at the start of the game, I think it's built up since the start of the game. It's not a bad crowd.
It's not too bad, Drew. It's a little bit misleading. Last year, looking around the ground, it didn't look all that brilliant, but certainly lots of people on this side of the ground in the grandstands, and around to the right there, that area just around past the goals at the right-hand end, certainly is quite well populated. But watching the Collingwood boys come back onto the ground, Damien Monkhorst is labouring a little. So it'll be interesting to see if he can play the game out, because it's quite critical, I guess, that they get some sort of a start that we just mentioned before from the centre, and he's been a key player for Collingwood in the first half.
So the Collingwood players down on the ground doing their stretching exercises, and Essendon having a last-minute chat. Captain Tim Watson.
What value would you put on a player like, you know, they've won the flag and they've got quite a few young fellows that are going to play for maybe 3 or 4 years, and we mentioned about Chris Danaher being injured. What value would you put on a player like, say, Shane Morwood, who I would think could play for Collingwood for, say, 3 or 4 years, and he gets hurt in a game like this and has a knee injury, misses a year and never maybe comes back to his best? Well, it'd be interesting, wouldn't it?
That'd be a shocking thing.
Because players like that just aren't
they're just not there to be grabbed these days with the draft and the salary cap the way it is. I'm sure clubs are most concerned, and these players just have to make sure that they're well organised for the game and probably try and avoid injury or serious injury as best they can.
Walsh, Kickett and Grenvold on the bench for Essendon. They're reduced to 21 players now with the absence of Chris Danaher. Graham Wright making his way over to the Collingwood bench, and he'll be joined by Richardson. I don't think Alan Richardson will play unless Collingwood gets down to about 15 players, and Reece Alakis and Craig Kelly on the bench as well. By gee, Tim Watson's given a top display. Plenty of possessions for Tim Watson. Second half about to get underway here at the Oval. 10-4 to 6 goals 5, a 23-point lead to the Magpies at the long break. Madden wins in the middle. Kerrison, a clever little kick. Barwick has been right out of the action. O'Donnell, kick up towards half forward. Bit of a wrestling match going on there. Here comes Anthony Danaher. O'Donnell gets clear. Vacant goal square. It bounces truly. Great goal by O'Donnell.
Drew, when you mention great, I don't know whether we're really prepared to accept that goal kick there by Gary O'Donnell was just enormous. Anthony Danaher fed the handball to him. He was under pressure from his opponent, but somehow with just a little bit of aggression or assertiveness about him, he got clear and got his left foot to the ball and kicked a magnificent goal for Essendon, and that's exactly what they needed at the start of the second half to get the first goal. So good bounce back in the centre. Madden not quite getting anywhere near it there. Buick leads in the race for the ball. Watson there to help out, but Buick collects it nicely, tries to give it to Burns. Good hands. Fox drops the ball, gets the hand pass away. Cransberg tries to sweep it further afield. Kerrison chips in. His kick goes back towards half-back. Watson marks. Gives it away to Madden. Madden very elegant with the right foot. And I had my tongue firmly planted in my cheek when I said that. Kicked wide there by the Collingwood defender, and it goes over for a boundary throw-in. Maybe not quite what Timmy Watson meant. There's some supporters in the crowd. And as Drew has already mentioned, plenty of Collingwood fans all over the world. Tap down. Kick off the ground by Watson. Good summing up. Tarpey back there. Fox interferes with that player, and the free kick will go to Tarpey. He's a rough, raw-boned type of a player, and he's proving a thorn in Essendon's side at centre-half back. The kick goes towards wing. Bailey takes it. Short pass. Oh, a little bit fancy stuff there. Antrobus sweeps the hand pass wide to Buick. Buick's kick towards half-forward. Monkhurst can't mark. Madden's a chance. O'Brien dashes in. Little toe poke there by Bailey. Can Anthony Danaher gather it? He's well tackled out here. The ball comes clear. Now an opportunity for Mullane. It's his first touch. With that broken hand, no plaster on it. The kick goes up forward to Barwick. Barwick's kick to Starcevic, and now Collingwood are a chance. In short, and the mark is taken by Krasiska well within scoring distance. So Collingwood moved it nicely. Krasiska spotted a player further afield. Alexander couldn't mark. He's outnumbered 4-1, but he taps it further to Christian. Alexander still a chance. Right in front of the Collingwood goal. Now Essendon will get clear, and Cransberg kicks it intelligently, finding touch about 40 metres further away from the Collingwood goal. Well, I didn't know that was Graham Wright back there at half-back, but I certainly know it's Graham Wright now, right underneath our commentary area. He did come off and start on the interchange bench, but Collingwood made a quick move.
Yeah, he just replaced Jamie Turner, who wasn't moving too well when he went to the bench. And that was right on the ground, involved in the first 30 seconds. Ball back up towards centre wing. Tarpey bangs a long one. Right to the edge of the goal square. Brown's there, a bit of a chance. It bounces! And through for a behind off the boot of Tarpey. Andrew Tarpey gets his first score. The kick in. 10-5 to 7 goals 5, a 3-goal lead to the Magpies. Antrobus takes the mark and dashes off with it. Up towards half forward. O'Brien in front, spoiled by Kerrison. Comes to Fox, who taps backwards here to Watson. Great play, Tim Watson. Beautiful hand pass up the ground on the bounce to O'Brien with space. O'Brien centres. Werner, oh, his hands were taken away from him. Monkhorst got back there. Thought Werner might have taken a free, but it's a rush behind.
So Essendon have done the bulk of the scoring in the early part of the third term. They've added 1 goal, and Collingwood have kicked it behind. The goal for Essendon coming through Gary O'Donnell. Shane Morwood back there at full-back. Kicks into the far side. 2-on-1 for Essendon. But Collingwood get out of trouble. Dacos has got across there pretty quickly, and the short pass is okay to Gaffer. Gaffer's got a runner. Coming up from the half-back flank area is Banks. Handball long, Starcevic playing a great game at half-forward. Short kick, mark is taken by Alexander. And Collingwood well served across the half-forward line by the small player Alexander and the tall player Starcevic. Christian can't mark, and it's just helped over by Considine for a rush behind. Christian appealing for the free kick there. Considine looking to move it on quickly. Comes to this near side, looking out here for Watson. Pushed off it nicely, just got rid of Wright. Oh, O'Donnell fumbles, but Fox is there to help out. Looking to move the ball forward with the left foot. Up towards the forward pocket area, but Jefferson gets back and takes the mark for Collingwood.
Players finding a bit of space around this oval at the moment. Monkhorst, short pass. Tranter takes the mark in the centre of the ground. He's got support from Banks. Not sure what to do, Dennis Banks. Into Mullane. Mullane, a high kick. He was put down after he got rid of it. It'll be a relayed free to Collingwood, and Christian right in front will kick for his 5th.
Oh, that's ridiculous. I'm sure that the umpires get players in the gun. I mean, I don't think Tony Antrobus did anything to Darren Mullane. If he had, Mullane would have come back at him straight away.
Yeah. So Michael Christian, who opened the game with 4 goals in the first quarter, kicks from 50 metres. It's close. That's his 5th.
And Madden, Dacos tries to get it out, but Burns recovers well, round onto the right foot and kicks it wide. A good kick too, and the mark is taken out there by Werner. Michael Werner, a lively customer. The kick in short, it's a little too short. Banks has got back there and stood his ground pretty well in the finish to take a good mark at full back. Dennis Banks, very experienced player, plays on now, runs across the goal, draws a player. Kerrison has it now in the opposite back pocket, looking to draw once again. Eventually does. Francis tries to go back to Kerrison. They've messed it up a little bit. Francis, Kerrison. Essendon could still gain possession. Underneath it is Antrobus. And there's another example. Just a little ticky touchwood. Could have nearly gone to Antrobus. Umpire decides to call for a bounce. I guess they're the legacies of arguing and just a reputation that goes with Tony Antrobus.
Monkhorst wins, but it comes down to O'Brien. Standing start kick, 45 metres. Morwood flies horizontally to punch away. It comes to Fox. Over the top to Watson. Timmy Watson for goal. Gets crunched, but kicks it.
Good spirit, Drew. Excellent spirit by Kerrison and Watson. We saw Watson last week after the grand final give Tony Shaw a bear hug after, and I thought there was absolutely magnificent sportsmanship. And there was Kerrison. He knows he's got to run the man down. He did it legally, still gave Watson the chance to kick it, and watch when they jump up. Great sportsmanship by 2 very good players for their respective sides. So Watson gets the goal for Essendon. That's their 8th goal. Collingwood have got 11-6 to 8 goals, 8. Now Essendon come forward again. Neil Danaher, Cransberg. Oh, Buick, why did you call for it? Burns under pressure. Chance for Neil Danaher. Left foot kick. This could bounce through. No, it doesn't. It goes to the left and through for a behind. So it's 8-7 Essendon to 11-6 Collingwood.
They might have a Londoner on the scoreboard somehow.
Over there on the other side, it's a bit, they've fixed it up now, I think, but the big scoreboard certainly spot on over here to the left. Essendon 8-7-55, Collingwood 11-6-72. And the kick out by Kerrison, looking to kick it to himself. Umpire Carey noticed that he did not do it properly, so he's bouncing it right at the front of the square. Madden tries to get it down. Crunch of players. Buick, look at Burns working overtime at the bottom of the pack. He can't get it out. So umpire Carey will bounce once again.
17 points the difference, and a chance here for the Bombers to get another one. Gee, high climb by Werner, feeds it out the back. Umpire said he threw it, and the free kick to Collingwood. Barwick thought it was his, but it's coming back to Monkhorst. 11-6 to 8-7, Collingwood in front. Halfway through the third quarter at the Oval. Punched by Anthony Danaher from behind. Antrobus. Fed out by Buick to Danaher. Danaher's kick is offline. And a couple of chances there for the Bombers when they needed full points. Anthony Danaher's kicked 3 behinds.
He really should have kicked that, because there wasn't much pressure on him from about 45 metres, and the breeze may be just blowing across the face of those goals.
Well, he can kick in 70 metres at full back, but he doesn't need to pinpoint it so much as he does on the forward line. Bailey, good pass, and Madden found himself 20 metres in the clear.
Actually, Bailey's done well, Drew. He was another player that Essendon flew in and arrived yesterday morning with Paul van der Haar and Anthony Danaher, and he's done pretty well. Played most of his football this year in the reserves, but Essendon showed faith.
Madden for goal. His left footer floats across a bit, I think, and that's another behind, and from a set shot only 30 metres out. Well, the Bombers could be a lot closer than they are at the moment, and it's 15 points the margin.
Kerrison thumps it long, well out towards the centre wing on that far side. Getting the knockdown was O'Donnell, and the kick has been smothered by Mullane over the boundary line, about 70 metres around from the Essendon goal. 11-6 Collingwood, 8-9 Essendon. A boundary throw in right half forward for the Bombers. Well, if they can get a couple of goals in this third term, and we've got a pretty close one at the end, coming into that last quarter, I'm sure the fans will be looking forward to the last 25 minutes. So far, so good. We've had one injury to Chris Danaher, a couple of minor ones to players on the bench, but certainly it's been pretty good standard. Monkhorst interferes with Madden in that ruck contest, so Simon Madden will take the free kick. He's too far out to score. He's about 2 kicks from goal. He gives the hand pass away to Neil Danaher. Neil Danaher runs and then kicks it to within scoring distance for the Bombers. Up towards full forward. At the back, the Magpies are under pressure. A kick off the ground there by Mullane goes over for a throw-in. And it is certainly within scoring distance for Essendon. So an opportunity for them to get their 9th goal and just pull within 11 points of the Magpies.
Anthony Danaher very high. Watson kicks through the pack. I think it was touched. It's shepherded. Chance off the ground. Werner trying to keep the ball in play. Does pretty well. Pulled off it when he didn't have it. No whistle. Yes. Oh, it's a Collingwood free.
I can't believe it. Why didn't Werner get a free kick?
Can't believe it.
Well, I'm getting a bit excited up here. I'm sure that Essendon fans back home would be screaming, because Michael Werner certainly pulled off the footy by the young player, Tranter, and eventually the free kick going to Collingwood. Well, I don't think umpire Carey's got his glasses on properly. There's a chance now for Essendon to go forward through Flood. A kick off the ground by Francis, goes wide into vacant land. Bailey and Alexander close to the boundary line. Dean Bailey can't do much with it, and it goes over for a boundary throw. Well, that's an umpiring decision that I was talking about in the, I think it was in the second quarter, about where you've just got something in the balance. It goes one way, kick away from goal, goes the other way, and it could even be a goal.
Well, I didn't even see a Collingwood player grabbed at all. He's coming up towards half forward. The whistle's gone. The umpire now says play on. Players stop, waiting for the decision. Harvey's going to be first there, but the boundary line will win. Right underneath the gasometer, a famous landmark here at the Oval. Not the best looking landmark of all time. You can look further away and see the Houses of Parliament, and the Telecom Tower and Big Ben. But there we have the gasometer at the Oval. Clever little hand pass, but Banks couldn't handle. He comes back to apply the tackle and robs Harvey of the ball. Bad bounce for Krasiska. In goes O'Brien. A few of these youngsters need to impress, and they're going all right. Hamilton. Alexander's one of those youngsters. Pulled off his kick. Hamilton in there again. Umpire letting it go. Socked away by Alexander. Tuddenham got Burns high, and the free kick to Adrian Burns.
And perhaps the tiredness coming into it now, Drew. The players fumbling a little bit. Burns kick, drop punt towards half forward. Oh, was that nearly a mark to Watson? Now play on Anthony Danaher. Fumbles. He was away there. It was Anthony Danaher, but Kerrison defends grandly for Collingwood. Over to Dacos, back to Kerrison. Kerrison handball. Oh, you're in trouble, Mick Gopher. Heaps of trouble. O'Brien goes after it again. He's 4-1 though. And Francis gets away with the football. A hand pass to Dacos. Dacos spots Barwick. He's deep in the pocket. Go for Bailey. He has a little bit of a look. Hamilton beaten for it. The tap on is Browns. Brown into a goal square. Unselfishly Starcevic. And Starcevic pops it through for his fourth.
Second or third time, Harisalakis on. And we're back in the middle. 78 plays 57. Collingwood in control. O'Brien tried to beat the paddock. Tackled high, says umpire Mitchell. And the free kick. And now 50 metres as well to O'Brien. And he'll be kicking from a set shot from right in front, about 35 metres out. Well, real estate's pretty expensive here in London, but that is a 70-metre penalty.
Well, it's certainly given young Craig O'Brien a chance to get his second goal and to become the only Essendon multiple goal scorer. Oh, I think he's missed. No, he hasn't. He's kicked it. So O'Brien gets his second. He's kicked 2 goals, 1. And Essendon just perhaps playing a little bit of catch-up footy here. Collingwood kicked 5 goals in the first quarter, 5 goals in the second quarter to open up a 23-point advantage at half-time. And the Bombers are just getting ever so close, and then Collingwood kick away.
Well, it's 2 goals each in this quarter, so they've chipped away, but they had a few easy chances which they missed. They could be a lot closer than this. Madden confronted by Monkhorst. Mullane overruns. Buick. Mullane gave good chase, but Buick comes away with the ball. The kick up towards half-forward. Werner pushed out. This time the umpire's seen it. Advantage is played. Centering kick. Watson can't quite trap it. Congestion of players there. And a free kick to Essendon right in front. About 40 metres out from goal. Last man up from the pack is Adrian Burns. Players going everywhere in that little exchange, but Burns getting the free kick, I think, against Tarpey. Lively little customer.
He's a real tiger, isn't he, Drew?
And I'll say he is. 19-year-old, played 8 games in his first season this year. Burns kicks from 45 metres. Won't make the distance. And a chest mark to Kerrison, nearly the smallest man there. It's unbelievable.
Kerrison quite near the goal square, comes to this near side. The short pass, he finds Harisalakis. Harisalakis now miles away. 2-on-2, flood on Starcevic. Kransberg on the ground, Gopher, Barwick. Here's a chance for Antrobus. Pinned in, but with the left foot, it's all right. Anthony Danaher can't mark. It goes through his legs. Harisalakis gets the hand pass out to Barwick. And in doing so, the umpire has deemed that it was a throw. So the free kick will go to Anthony Danaher. The kick floats across the face, but a good mark taken by Burns. Well, he'd nearly get my vote at the moment, Drew, this young fellow. He's certainly under the bottom of packs, tapping on, hand passing, and doing well on the forward line for Essendon. Bit of blood streaming out of his nose, so he's certainly been in the physical clashes. Let's see if he can kick this one. Gets underneath it, floats across to the right, and it's through for a behind to Essendon. Bad luck for the Bombers. They certainly need another 1 or 2 goals before 3/4 time.
15 points is the margin, and that's certainly attainable. Kerrison kicks in. That is a great kick. That has gone 70 metres, and with a bounce, it's up at centre wing. Kransberg. Haven't seen much action from Peter Kransberg today. Antrobus taps the ball out to O'Brien. Had trouble picking it up. Now he's got it. Can't break the tackle. Francis.
Got a free kick, O'Brien, I think. Thrown as didn't have the football.
So I think Craig O'Brien's had something to prove here today, and he certainly looked pretty good. The kick, Madden got underneath it. At the back, Watson. Star quality, Tim Watson on the turn, bang! It's close, just offline. Didn't he have toe off the mark to reach that ball?
Well, he surprises me, Tim Watson. He's a lot bigger than he looks on the football field. He's about 6'2", runs quick, and has got a bit of strength about him. So he's a hard man to contend with. And great play there, just didn't quite finish it off. Kerrison's kick back in towards the centre. It comes out the back. Chance for Collingwood to get clear. Monkhurst, a long hand pass over the top to no one in particular. Barwick swoops on it, can't quite control it. Brown is there with plenty of talent, eventually gets the hand pass over the top to Barwick. Good Shepherd gives Barwick the chance to come in and kick towards the square. Christian, oh, he's dropped it. Thought he had it and spent it, and now he gets the free kick in the goal square. And Essendon players are stunned. And Derry Kickett having plenty to say. He's kicked 5, Michael Christian, and he's played all of his footy today up at full forward, and he's now kicked 6.
Course going to the bench, and Tarpey now in the ruck for Collingwood, and beats Simon Madden. Socket away by Tranter, bouncing ball for Kerrison. He's left-footed a full forward. Dacos down there in the pocket. Taken out of it well by Hamilton. Harvey soccers, and it bounces off Krasiska and goes out of bounds. So with 4 interchange players, admittedly Essendon now reduced to 3 with Chris Danaher's injury, but the change is being rung pretty quickly. But a top game of football here in front of this London crowd. Ball held to O'Donnell, and the umpire will ball it up. Just might send a quick cheerio to Roger Hampson's wife, who is celebrating her 40th birthday in Melbourne tonight. And Roger misses you, thinking of you. Good evening to Kyle. Happy birthday. Centre of the ground. A paddle by Kelly. Burns did well. Chance for Madden. Taken out of it by Tarpey. Here's Craig Kelly. Sweeps the hand pass into Morewood. Clean bowled by that one. Been plenty of players clean bowled here at the Oval. Banks. Great kick out to centre wing to Haris Larkis, who takes the mark uncontested. Barwick gives him a run. He pops it over the head of Buick, Haris Larkis. Barwick marks on McGallum. He's had few touches today. Alexander at full strength. Go for the goal, son. And has kicked the beauty. First goal to Colin Alexander. Just 4 senior games this year, a total of 22 for the 20-year-old ex-Tasmanian. And that puts a bit of a break in the scores now. 14-6 to 9 goals 11. Essendon have been a little bit wasteful, especially in this quarter. And it's 25 points the margin.
The Bombers just can't quite get close enough. Collingwood showing good composure. Madden taps it over the top of his head. Mullane at centre-half back. Kicks it towards centre-half forward. Marking contest. And he nearly got it. Krasiska. Harvey tipped it, kick off the ground. Francis. Krasiska. Risalakis. Oh, the bounce not favourable there for Brown. In the pocket, Tuttenham. Tuttenham's handball over the top. Risalakis comes out, but kick it. Favoured by the bounce. Can't quite get his right foot to the ball. Risalakis now kick off the ground by Tranter. Out it goes towards O'Brien, but Bailey doing it pretty well, Bailey. And he gets his right foot to the ball and kicks it towards half forward. Watson can't mark. Attempted gather there by Mullane. Kick off the ground. It was Kelly there for Collingwood. Now Morewood. He's going to get caught, but the elbow was raised by Fox, and the free kick will be taken by Morewood and centre half back. Plays on quickly, sums it up. Banks is wide at half back. Further afield, the mark will be taken by Francis. Looking to get it on quickly. Kranzberg minding the mark pretty well. Now Francis gets away to the left foot. Kicks it towards centre half forward. A big punch by Harvey. Could nearly have grabbed it again and been awarded the mark. Tuttenham. Handball. Alexander leaves it for Brown. Brown a little kick. Can Alexander get his second within a minute? Starcevic. Oh, he could have nearly given the hand pass away. But his kick is just touched off the boot. And we'll have a boundary throw in the right forward pocket for Collingwood. Collingwood are 14-6-90, Essendon 9-11-65, and I just must have extra sensory there, Drew. That's the second time during the game that we've been right on the siren with the score. Collingwood at three-quarter time lead by 25 points. The Magpies 14-6-90, Essendon 9-11-65.
looks like losing to Collingwood twice in the space of a week. 14-6 to 9 goals 11, a 25-point lead to the Magpies. But interesting, in that quarter, Collingwood had 6 scoring shots, Essendon had 9, but the Pies kicked 4-2, the Bombers kicked 3 goals 6. So, in fact, Collingwood extended their half-time lead of 23 after 25 points. Well, Scott Palmer's down on the boundary line. I think he's trying to beat off a few spectators. Scotty.
Yes, Drew, Lee Adamson told Collingwood just a minute ago, look, we've got 25 minutes to go. Keep it up, then we can rest. We can finally rest after 25 minutes. We've worked too hard to lose it from here. Essendon will come at us, but just remember, this is the last game of the season. Let's go out on a win, and let's keep all our Magpie supporters happy at home. Kevin Sheedy just pointed out all the mistakes that the Bombers made. He pointed out that Timmy Watson shouldn't have handballed over to Simon Banton. He said Brad Fox should put his body in, and he said that Michael Werner has to work harder in the forward line. But he said we can still win it. Keep going, boys.
Keep punching, Scotty.
Keep punching, Drew.
He's excited down there, isn't he?
Oh, yeah.
He's really into the action. And
Why wouldn't he be?
The Mexican wave now going on, and all the people at the ground here getting involved, which is great to see.
Terrific stuff at a sporting event. The involvement of the supporters, eh?
As long as they let it go at three-quarter time and don't go for the whole of the last quarter doing it. That's what's wrong with that wave. They never know when to stop. Everybody is having a terrific time here at the Oval. Mind you, it's cost them a bit. 12 quid to get in, which is about $25. It's about £1.50 for a pie. That's over $3. So a day at the footy today, if you buy a few souvenirs, you're going to lighten the wallet a bit.
So the last quarter about to start here in the big game between Essendon and Collingwood. Essendon facing a 25-point deficit at three-quarter time. And Collingwood looking to make it larger. Alexander can't quite get the ball clear. In there for Essendon was Thompson and Anthony Danaher. Paul Tuttenham, the last to regain his footing. And the umpire will bounce about 15 metres wide of the centre circle. Madden. Over the top was Tarpey, who looks as though he may have been put into the ruck. Tranter caught with the football. Kick it, can't get it forward. Good interception by Mullane. He can't get clear. Gee, why he's playing with that hand unstrapped, I don't know. Here's a chance for Fox. Fox at centre-half forward, gets it to O'Brien. O'Brien over the top. Watson slips. Back to O'Brien. Very wide now into the pocket. Forced against the boundary line. Kerrison. O'Brien gets his foot to the ball and kicks a miraculous goal. Great stuff, Bombers. Well, O'Brien is Essendon's leading goal scorer. He's kicked 3. And he's played a pretty good game, the little fellow. And that certainly was a great effort. They made a little bit of a meal of it there with Watson slipping over. But eventually, Craig O'Brien, hard in that right forward pocket, was able to put it straight through the centre. And Essendon 10-11-71, trail by just 19 points. Collingwood 14-6-90.
Well, based on 9 scoring shots to 6 in the third quarter, this isn't all over. Tarpey does pretty well in the ruck, but knocks it straight to kick it. Tarpey tackles O'Donnell, but he gets rid of the kick. Anthony Danaher, blocked there by Kelly. Banks. And the ball held in, so we'll have a ball up near the centre circle. So the margin, just 19 points. And we heard Scott Palmer say that Kevin Sheedy pretty keen for them to finish on strongly. Why wouldn't he be? Brown out to Tranter. Kicked by Tranter wide for Dacos. Finger-tipper. Brilliant by Peter Dacos. Probably hasn't had too much of the ball today. Maybe a little bit more than in the grand final last week, but who'll ever forget those 2 miracle goals he kicked? This one drops a bit short. That wasn't a great kick. The mark taken by Considine has gone back on to Christian. Comes back to Dacos. Little left footer. Chance here for the Pies. Alexander feeds out the hand pass. Christian snaps his 7th.
The D generation back.
Collingwood 15-6, Essendon 10-11. The Bombers got the first goal in the last quarter, but Collingwood very, very quickly a reply. Cransberg. Anthony Danaher, the kick, slews off the side of his boot. It was ill-directed. Watson now punched away by Gafer. We'll have a boundary throw in that left forward pocket area for Collingwood. There's Kevin Sheedy. Looking a little concerned, but, well, his Chargers have put up a pretty good effort. He's had quite a few players out from last week's grand final side. Buick, Grenvold, O'Donnell. Can he put it through? He can. Great kick by Gary O'Donnell. And they're not finished, the Bombers. They've still got a bit of run in their legs, but it's their defence that's just got to be able to keep Collingwood out. Each time they've been able to get one like that, it certainly was a good kick by Gary O'Donnell, who the other day at training, Drew, I must say, took a mark at the 50-metre line here, went back and drop-kicked it straight through the centre. Very talented young player is Gary O'Donnell.
He's one of the greatest drop kickers in the history of the game. You'd be very appreciative of that. I said drop kickers. Near the centre. Here's Brown charging straight through. Long, mighty kick to full forward. Christian trying to wrestle off his opponent. Alexander just couldn't get boot to ball and threw for a behind. .96 plays at 77. So again, 19 points the difference. The kick in near the centre of the ground. Kick it. Keeps it going Essendon's way. Caught by Harisalakis. And the umpire will come in and ball it up. 20 points the margin is now. 97 to 77. Ball up near the centre. Tranter did pretty well there. Not Tranter, Tarpey. Around the corner, the kick out to centre wing. Here's Tranter. Harisalakis slips over into Banks. Banks feigns the hand pass and goes for a long kick. Over Dacos to Christian, but Harvey chips into space to take the mark. Well, Essendon can still get up and win this if Collingwood think for a moment that they haven't won. O'Brien's put on a great performance. Loses it this time. Francis the hand pass to Tudden. Bouncing ball for Dacos. On the turn. Thank you very much, Peter Dacos.
11-11. And not much time left. Grenvold, kick smothered, rebounds to Tranter. Tranter's kick across his body. Krasiska and Harvey go for it. Alexander, Thompson in there, a little bit more strength, but he can't break away. And umpire Carey will call for a bounce. Right on the 50-metre line there for the Magpies. Starcevic getting into position to go for this ruck knockout. Favours Cransberg. He tries to tap it down in the direction of Harvey. Flood is in there, hemmed in on the boundary line. He gets the hand pass back to Cransberg. Cransberg's left foot kick wide towards the wing. No one can take the mark. Morwood comes out the back rugby style, but good interception by young Tranter. The little chip is all right. The mark is taken by Mullane at centre half back for Collingwood. Darren Mullane. Still that right hand strapped. Short pass finds Banks, and Banks is just wide of the centre. Drop punt kick by Dennis Banks up towards centre half forward. Christian can't mark. Punched away by Considine. Little fumble by Kickett. Gets his right foot to the ball, and this one carries to O'Brien. He gets the hand pass over the top. O'Donnell's in the centre. After one bounce, he could go for goal and might bounce through. Unselfishly, delivers it beautifully, and Madden marks within 35 metres.
He's a beautiful player, Gary O'Donnell. It could be a centreman quite easily. I mean, he's a man who's been given a tagging role so often, but his skills are fantastic.
Now Simon Madden, distance not a problem, but he's had a little bit of trouble. Missed one from the about similar distance down the other end of the ground. He stabs at it. He doesn't miss this one. He gets his second goal for Essendon. So the Bombers have made a real good contest of this afternoon. 12-11, 83. Collingwood is 16-7, 103, so it's back to 20 points. And just if you can get the ball away from the centre, it's certainly with the advantage of the team who can do just that. One little tap on, a gather at centre half forward, and before you know where you are, you can score a goal very quickly here at the Oval.
Monkhorst has come onto the ground, and Shane Morwood has gone off, and he didn't bother going through the interchange gate, so I don't know whether that's the last we'll see of him for the day. They stick by the rules, it should be. Oh, he's doing well, Tranter. Up towards half forward, chest mark to Harvey. 103 plays 83. Collingwood leading midway through the last quarter. Here's Burns. It's been a top exhibition of Australian football. Burns is cornered here. Oh, Mullane gets him. Burns goes backwards. Dacos says thank you. Here's Mullane now. Burns mucked that one up. Mullane off the left foot. Oh, what a mark by Starcevic in the goal square.
Well, one lesson for young Burns. You're playing senior football. The senior footballers don't let you get away with that. The pressure by Collingwood was fantastic, and eventually numbers won out. Collingwood will kick a goal through Craig Starcevic.
Well, this will make the difference, 26 points, and just about seal it. Starcevic gets his 5th.
Goal. Craig Starcevic has kicked 5. Michael Christian has kicked 7. So the two big fellows on the full forward line for Collingwood have done it pretty well. Kickett couldn't quite get an effective kick at it from the centre, so the umpire calls for a bounce. 26 points, Collingwood's advantage, and I would suggest at this stage that they'll go on and win this game and cap off a great season for the Magpies, the 1990 AFL premiers and Foster's Cup champions here at the Oval at least. Kickett kicks it over the boundary line on the full, so a free kick to be taken on centre wing for Collingwood by Kelly. Kelly's long drop punt kick towards centre half forward. Nearly a mark there to Tarpey, being held out of the marking contest with Starcevic. He takes the free kick wide of centre half forward. The kick, he's looking for Christian. Punched away by Considine. Brown gathers it nicely. A lovely back step to avoid Kickett. A great smother coming there from Thompson. And he forces the ball over for a boundary throw in about 50, maybe 65 metres from the Collingwood goal.
Boundary throw in. Bransburg very high. Comes to Banks. There's a free kick being signalled here, and the players haven't heard the whistle, so Banks gets bowled over by Fox, and it'll be a 50-metre penalty now.
It's going to Grenvold, the free kick, a little too high.
So David Grenvold will come right up to about centre half forward. Well, it wasn't as long as a 50-metre paid earlier in the day. That was about 45. I'm sure the other one was about 70. So Grenvold's about a kick and a half out from goal. Down towards the pavilion end here at the Oval. Steers the ball in low, and Kelly takes the mark. Hasn't seen much of the action today. I think he was looking to spend most of the time on the bench. Ball's knocked out, comes to Banks. Banks skirts round the boundary line, draws a man, beats Fox. Comes into Tranter. He's had a great day. Short pass is good, and Tuddenham marks on his bootlaces. Paul Tuddenham pops it high. Christian's there. Alexander a hand to the ball, but it's going to be an Essendon free kick, and it'll be taken by Considine.
Considine too slow. Walsh was on his own for ages. Eventually gave the handball to Harvey. Harvey's kick towards centre wing. Madden up high and takes the mark just forward of centre wing in Essendon's forward half. Looking to play on. Monkhurst on the mark, looks very tired. The kick towards half forward. That nearly was a mark for Flood. He had a couple of grabs at it, but umpire Mitchell not convinced. Please throw it in. The instruction to the boundary umpire. About a kick and a half from the Essendon goal. So the Bombers are a chance. Watson on the ball. Grenvold there. Madden gets it down. And has he interfered with Monkhurst? He has. And Simon looking a little questionably at umpire Mitchell. The free kick will go to Damien Monkhurst. And he's lifting badly, the big fellow. I think that might be caused by pain around the upper head area. I think it's a very Oh, well, there's O'Brien now, dashing clear. Thompson, long kick by Michael Thompson to full forward. Buick at the back. Kerrison a little stronger. Gayfer clears for Collingwood. The kick goes wide. Anthony Danaher leads in the race for the ball. The boundary line very, very close. Danaher 2-on-1, and eventually he allows it to go over. Tranter, there's the Collingwood bench. Wayne Richardson, Shane Morwood and Jamie Turner, interested onlookers. Boundary throw in. Monkhurst at the back, gets it down to Tranter, and again it goes over, and we'll have a boundary throw in.
Well, Robbo, I sent a cheerio during the third quarter. I'll do another one in the last quarter. Good evening to Lee Matthews, watching the game, no doubt, back in Melbourne, having successfully coached the premiership side. I think you'd be very proud of the way your boys have played today. 2 wins over Essendon in a week. Good pick up by Banks. Kerrison taps on. Charging onto the ball is Tuddenham. Tuddenham puts it wide for Christian. A good lead and a great pass. And Michael Christian, who's kicked 7, is still looking to give off a short one rather than go for a personal tally. But now the leads are pretty well blocked up. And Michael Christian, kicking from about 50, might as well have a go for 8. What a day he's had. Mighty distance, but he hooked it. I've got that for his first behind. I think you gave him one earlier on, which I gave as rushed. But anyway, he's had a big day.
Yes, it's been a terrific effort. The 2 tall Collingwood forwards, Christian 7, Starcevic 5, and they've been the difference between the 2 sides. The kick in goes towards half back. A big leap there by young Tranter. Dacos takes it over. So we'll have a boundary throw in about 70 metres around from the Collingwood goal. And it's been a very entertaining match here. Players under a little bit of difficulty with the weather conditions. They've been very warm here since we arrived on Thursday morning. And even this morning it was quite warm. Overcast conditions. It'll be pretty muggy down there at ground level, I would think.
Certainly pretty muggy up here, and we're not going through the physical bumps that they are. Harisalakis, high kick, close to the boundary line. Comes to the front of the pack. Francis throws it onto the left boot. Christian in the goal square. Well, now Michael Christian has a chance to kick his 8th. I wonder whether he's had as good a day as this anywhere. But he's decided to pick London to have a day out. Stuttering start. He's kicked it, I think. No, missed again. Just getting the staggers right at the end.
Well, 8 goals would certainly put him in line for the best player award, I would think, if he can get that well, evasive 8th goal. There's been some good players on both sides. Kick in by Considine, goes to half-back, punched away by Banks from Walsh. And we'll have a boundary throw in. Christian and Starcevic have played well for Collingwood. Alexander and Tranter. Dacos in patches, Brown in patches. Essendon's best players, maybe O'Brien. Simon Madden doing pretty well, has kicked 2 goals. Here's another good player for Essendon, O'Donnell. Up towards half forward. Buick just tries to control the football with his foot. He can't. Back they go. Look at them backing up beautifully, Collingwood. Barwick from half back. Kicks it wide. Can see an advantage out here for Tranter. Gaither leaves it for that player. Back onto the right foot. A short little kick. Kerrison can't quite smother it. Goes after it again. Gets the handball away in towards the centre. Harisalakis a little slow. Anthony Danaher a little late on the scene. Up towards half forward. No mark taken. Harvey gets his left foot to the ball. Kicks it wide and it goes over the boundary line on the full. So the free kick to be taken out there by Gavin Brown. And what a great sight, Drew, it is to see Gavin Brown playing after being knocked out last week in that grand final. The cheers came when he reappeared on the ground, but a week later here he is playing in this championship match in London. Dennis Banks takes the short pass. Kick in towards full forward. Over the back, and another goal to Collingwood, kicked by Starcevic. He gets his 6th. To be
9 to 12 goals 11. Madden wins in the ruck. Well played, O'Brien. Gathered by Brown. Kick by Brown to centre half forward. Huge pack gathers. Ball slews out the side. Kick it. Good pick up. His left footer for Anthony Danaher, too long. Knocked away by Kelly. Banks grabbed when he didn't have it. And Dennis Banks with the free kick. He goes by hand to Gaither. Short pass out near the wing. Kelly's there to go and apply the tackle. Play on, says the umpire. Kick it, scoops it off the ground. Passes low to Buick. Buick's had a pretty quiet day. He gets around Barwick on the mark. From 50 metres. Keeps it low. Burns the only chance. Knocked away in defence. Tarpey. Whoops! Through it goes for a behind. Not sure he meant that. It was probably the right thing to do eventually.
Well, Buick, I think, probably should have kicked that a little higher. I guess that he felt that he could carry the players in the goal square, but not to be. The kick out goes towards Gafer. Kelly is there to help. Banks also backing up is brilliant. Those three players combined to get the ball up towards the forward half for Collingwood. Now Brown with plenty of time now, the short pass, and he finishes off beautifully. Dacos. The kick by Dacos to centre half forward. No mark taken. The ball rebounds. Grenvold just overruns the football, and eventually it's held in there for Collingwood, and we'll have a bounce. Player there, Harisalakis. There's Kevin Sheedy getting messages down to the bench. Up over the top, Walsh. Can he break clear? He can. Now the pass out wide. Werner's just come back onto the ground. He's got a chance to get a kick here now, Michael Werner, but he's beaten for it by Harisalakis. Still an opportunity. Oh, in comes Fox, and down goes Monkhurst, and Fox shakes his head. Well, I think it looked a fair free kick to me. Watch Fox here. Jump straight into him. No way he was going for the football. And now a 50-metre penalty against Grenvold for not coming back on the mark. And again,
You've got to get in these.
Monkhurst, a chance to kick Collingwood into attack. I think the lads will be happy now that their season is nearly over. Both sides. Monkhurst in short. Christian! Great mark. And certainly a chance now to get his 8th goal.
You know, Michael Christian's only kicked 15 goals in 4 seasons in the AFL. He could kick 8 in one day.
Oh, well, so be it, eh? When you come over with depleted ranks, players have to play in different positions, and it's another little avenue for Collingwood. He gets his 8th. It's a beautiful kick.
Back live at the Oval in London. Collingwood running away with this game for the 2nd week in a row against the Bombers. Grenvold up towards half forward. Kerrison, what a mark. You don't often see a back pocket take a mark like that. Shane Kerrison, a beauty. Out to centre wing. Monkhurst with Watson. Watson chases pretty hard and clears a path for Werner. The hand pass in too high for O'Brien. Mullane meets him. Fair bump. Takes one himself from Madden. The ball comes out the back. Flood. A hurried kick across the face of goal. Fox outnumbered 2-1. Fox number 25. Hewitt comes in to help him, but rushes the ball straight over the boundary line. Down towards the forward pocket for the Bombers. Well, it's been a bit of a thrill for me to broadcast from a box made famous by the company of people like Fred Trumans and Ray Illingworths and so on, high up here at the Oval. Great to be here. And it's just been a magnificent day for all the people, I'm sure, who've turned up. They've had a top day. And the players are to be congratulated on the performance they've given. Monkhurst wins the tap. Comes to Francis. His kick short of centre wing. Thompson a spoil. Brown knocks it away from Grenvold, but Grenvold keeps his footing. Goes backwards with the hand pass. Hamilton. Thompson. Big pack here at half forward. Fox no hope. Comes to the front. Tranter gets the hand pass back to Kerrison. And now Michael Thompson takes the mark. In it goes to Bailey. Chance for the Bombers now. Madden can't take the one-hander. Burns charges from 50. His left footer is pretty good and goes through for a goal. First goal to Adrian Burns. Actually, the Bombers were practicing a drill a bit like that on Friday, and Sheedy was blowing a whistle and making the players have a go from 50. That's exactly what Georgie Burns did. There's the siren. It's all over. The Pies have done it again. 19 goals, 9, 123 to Essendon, 13-12, 90. 19 goals, 9 is pretty straight kicking by Collingwood, and Michael Christian was the star there. He kicked 8 goals for the day. Craig Starcevich kicked 6, but 19-9, terrific kicking by the Pies. And Essendon finished with 13-12, but they were wayward in the third quarter when they kicked 3-6. Had that been something like 7 goals too, it might have gone right to the wire, this. but it was a 25-point lead at three-quarter time and proved too much to bridge for Essendon, who have gone down here today by 33 points after that consolation goal by Burns right on the siren. Good scenes here. Lee Adamson, in his first senior day as a coach, has had a victory. Collingwood have beaten the minor premiers twice in a week. Peter Dacos looks pretty happy with things. I think he had a pretty nice day out there, and he got a few kicks, but I don't know whether he worked all that hard today, Peter Dacos. But some of the younger boys really did have a dip, and those tall forwards for Collingwood were way too good.
Well, they were the difference between the two sides, I'd say, with Christian 8 and Starcevic 6. Essendon, on the other hand, just couldn't quite get the ball up towards anyone who was prominent up in their full forward line. O'Brien kicked 3, O'Donnell kicked 2, and Madden 2, and that's where they struggled. Scott Palmer down on the ground has got Darren Mullane.
Yes, yes, Drew, we've got Darren Mullane, and he's excited because not only the AFL Premiership but the Foster's Cup. Darren, a wonderful year.
Oh yeah, it's been a great year. So I think we just wanted to compete today, and it turned out good for us.
Collingwood, did you ever doubt they'd win today? Because they're a bit tired and they looked a bit jaded early on, but they really showed their mettle.
Well, I was just hoping it wasn't going to be close towards the end because we're all running out of legs, I think.
But Darren, what about the hands? You got through another game without sort of any problems?
Yeah, well, I didn't go in for the ball today, just hanging out the wing.
Now, what about tonight? You're going to really celebrate tonight because you've been holding yourself back in here at London for a couple of nights.
Yeah, we might go out tonight and a few beers now.
But what about Collingwood supporters? Can you just say something to them about this match here in London? Because you're going to get another cup to put on the mantle down at Victoria Park.
Oh, yeah, to all the supporters back there, thanks for looking after us over the grand final period down there, and we'll just give another cup to them, that's all.
And who was your best player today?
Myself.
What about Michael Christian's 8 goals?
Yeah, Chris had it well. I think he was happy at full forward trying to prove something, I think, but it takes a few of the boys play well.
And what about a message to Lou, who's sitting back home watching tonight?
We'll have a cold one for you tonight, Lou.
OK, that's Darren Mullane reporting to you, boys.
And what a character Darren Mullane is, and I think Scotty Palmer did pretty well. He hasn't been a regular ground level performer for us over the season, and to do it in front of thousands of people like that, he did very well there, Scott Palmer. And now the Foster's Cup is about to be presented to Collingwood. We can take you down to the presentation.
Ladies and gentlemen, time now for the presentation of the Foster's Cup for 1990. And of course, it goes to the skipper of Collingwood, Peter Dacos. To present the cup, may I in turn present Mr. Michael Foster, the Managing Director of Courage Limited. Mr. Foster.
Thank you, Mike. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being at the Foster's Oval. This is a game we enjoy. We hope you enjoy too it. Thank you, Essendon, for putting on a good game. And Collingwood, they won the warm-up in Australia last weekend, and we're very pleased they've won the real thing this weekend. So, Peter, many congratulations. Thank you for being here.
Hey, just...
Peter Dacos just said this is becoming a bit of a habit. It's a heck of a habit, Pete.
It's a nice habit, Mike, to try and get used to. I'd like to thank Mike Foster and Foster for making this award possible and making the trip possible. It's something that the guys have really looked forward to, and especially after the win last week. It's culminated into another win today and rounded off the season nicely.
Well, it certainly did, getting the double up. A long way to travel to get the double up. But, Pete, the feeling amongst the Collingwood boys must be absolutely tremendous.
Oh, it certainly is. And, as I said, Mike, it's been, I suppose, it's been a good trip away. And, again, the guys' minds were on the job. And it was one that we wanted to win and finish off the season well. And, it's ended the season nicely for us.
You know, a lot of people thought, and I must admit I was one of them, we thought that perhaps you fellows, the Collingwood guys, after your great victory in the Foster's Grand Final in Melbourne, may have had a little bit too much Foster's, and today you wouldn't have shown your best form. But we're all proven wrong, weren't we? But you certainly have had a fair bit of Foster's.
Oh, we certainly have. There's no doubt about that, and there's certainly going to be a bit more Foster's put down before the night's out as well.
Pete, The Magpies, you're there. It was, what, 32 years since you'd last won a premiership? Oh, what a knight in shining armour. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Well, Peter Dacos just said, you can repeat that, Pete, if there's any libel suits.
It's only beer cold in England.
Fosters. Pete, looking forward to the future. It certainly seems to be a bright future for Collingwood.
It is, Mike. We've got a lot of young kids coming up, and I think a lot of the boys that played today, you had young Athos, Harusalakis, Brendan Tranter, and a few other boys that have come through and had their chance today and have taken a bit between the teeth, and all good for next year.
Well, there'll be a mate of ours watching this right back in Melbourne at this particular time, Tony Shaw, the captain of Collingwood. Shawry, the boys did well today.
Actually, Shawry, you've certainly missed a good one.
And he mightn't get the captaincy back, Pete.
I hope not.
Peter, congratulations to you. You must, deep inside, you must feel immensely proud right now.
Oh, fantastic, Mike. It's been a great year, and again, the guys, the thing is, you know, we've had a good time since we've been here, but again, when the business had to be performed, it's been done, so that's credit to the boys.
Well, you've got everything going for you. You've got the Foster's Premiership Cup in Melbourne. You've got the Foster's Cup here in London. You've got a can of Foster's in your hand. You better go and enjoy everything. Well done, Peter Dacos. Well done to the Collingwood Football Club. Magnificent, aren't they? And I think we might go back to Drew Morfitt and Ian Robertson right now, and I'll enjoy a Foster's as well.
Thank you, Mike, and Peter Dacos said it pretty well there in his acceptance speech. We'll be back with you at the Oval in a moment. Collingwood proving that last week in Melbourne it was no fluke, and they beat Essendon for the second time in a week, kicking 19-9-123 to 13-12-90. Michael Christian kicked 8 goals, Craig Starcevich kicked 6, and nobody else kicked any more than 1 for Collingwood. And meanwhile for Essendon, O'Brien was their leading goal kicker with 3. Simon Madden kicked 2 goals, and Gary O'Donnell also kicked 2 goals. Well, it was a terrific performance. A lot was made of what the players have been up to since last week in Melbourne. I mean, they only had about 4 days to celebrate before they got on the plane and came over here. And I might add, when they got on the plane, with both teams both on the same plane, we thought, well, what's this going to be like? This could be a recipe for a bit of a disaster. But everybody was so tired on the plane, they just about slept all the way. But I must admit they have made up for it since they've been in London. They've done particularly well. They've celebrated pretty hard, but when it came to playing the football, as Peter Dacos said, they came out here today and gave their very best shot. Well done to Collingwood. It's been a fantastic year in 1990 after going through so many heartbreaks. 9 grand finals without success since their last win in 1958, but they did it last week against the minor premiers, and they've done it here again. A couple of years ago they were world champions, and this year they've done it again. Collingwood had 23 more kicks. They got the ball out of the centre better, 10 more hand passes, 13 more marks, and 3 more free kicks. Tackles pretty even, but 2 more tackles for Collingwood. Essendon won in the hit-outs, and the 50 metres were even, and 5 more centre breaks for Collingwood. So really, they proved beyond a shadow of a doubt that they were the better team, better than Essendon in 1990, and the best team in the competition. A lot of the players are going away from here to have holidays in various destinations around the world, some of them going straight back home. We're coming straight back home on Tuesday, looking forward to getting back. But we've enjoyed bringing the football to you from the Oval. Hope you enjoyed it as well, and I can say farewell to you all from the Oval in London.
He's every inch a hero, the kind to get things done. But underneath that grip of steel, there hides some mother's favorite son.
This has been a 7 Sport presentation for the Australian Television Network.
Australia's favourite song.